Hello YouTubers, this is Tia from Musings with a Mystic, and I'm back with a musing. It's my tarot video. I've got my little blanket moment. It's got the stars and stripes on it. Well, stars and stripes, that is so deeply ingrained. It's got the sun and the moon and the stars on it. Stars and stripes, where the fuck did that come from? Anyway, if you're looking for a tarot video, this is kind of not one of those. I will be talking about a few of the tarot cards that are associated with the planet I'm talking about today. This is more of a personal vlog, half announcement, half vlog type situation, and I'm going to be like talking about the tarot cards too. So if you're looking for a pick a card or something, this is not that. This is just going to be me kind of like talking about my life and how these three cards kept kind of coming up. If you want to like have a tarot lesson, this might be a good thing for you to watch. But if you're not interested in that, then I kind of suggest you go back to my channel and look at a different video or something. Before I get into this, I'll say please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you are so inclined, you can go and donate. And if you want a personal reading, you can also find that information down below. But otherwise, I'm just going to like start talking about... I have a hard time kind of talking about me. Even my earlier musings are just kind of like things that I was observing. And I was like, oh, I want to talk about this, so I'm going to do it. And then I ended up doing it. And then I stopped doing that for a while and started doing tarot videos. But anyway. Basically, what's going on in my life right now is I'm kind of being forced to move from my house. And the reason why I'm being forced to move, and you guys might notice that the videos have dwindled down a little bit, is because my ex-husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, I don't know, like he was like, I'm not going to badmouth him. I'm just going to say that we had a hard time, and he asked me to leave. Now, this is during a pandemic, and it's also during civil unrest back in like June, where in the US we were having all of these riots and stuff. And he was like, look, whatever, when do you think you can be out? And so that's kind of where I am now. I'm kind of moving now because I just feel like it's better for me and the children to kind of get out and go. So I do my own tarot readings, like daily ones, daily pulls, and around that time I kept getting this card and here comes the segue into Pluto. This is a card of Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. I think it's traditional. I believe that the traditional ruler is Mars, but in recent years it has become Pluto. And this card, as you can see, is about falling out. Most of the time when I'm doing readings and I get this, if it's a relationship reading, either the relationship has broken up or y'all had a big breakdown, blowout, mash up, fight, and you fell out. Like, I always see these people falling out of the building, and I'm like, falling out? Yeah, falling out, motherfucker. Like, falling all the way the fuck out. So, this is the card that I kept getting. And I was like, what is this? I got this with the King of Cups, the Five of Swords, and those two, the King of Cups can be zodiac sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. My ex-husband is not a Scorpio, he's an Aries. But the King of Cups can also indicate a man who is emotional, a man who is in love, or otherwise emotional, like angry, sad, other emotions. And this card and that person kept coming out together. And after the discussion came about, the death card came up a lot, and it's still coming up now. It's just signifying the end of the situation. Like, these are like the three different energies of Pluto in my life, anyway, personally. My Pluto is in my eighth house, where it is at home, and it is a Scorpio um, Pluto. So I'm from that generation of people who has their Pluto in Scorpio. I'm also from that generation of people who has that Capricorn stellium. So right now, I know I'm like going off on tangents and shit, but right now Pluto is in my 11th house. It had to go through my 10th house, and now it's in my 11th house, and it's going through that stuff. Um, and it's supposed to stay in the same house for like 14 years, I believe, depending on how big or small the house is. And the 11th house is where you make your debut into society and the reception you get out there. Traditional house of friends, but also extends out to colleagues and social circles. It's a house of Aquarius, Uranus, and Saturn. Um, my Venus is in Aquarius. When Pluto was in my 10th house, which is the 10th house is the house of work. 10th house is about your life's work. It's what you look back on as your legacy in this life. When it was in my 10th house, I had to transition out of a job into another job because of certain difficulties that I was having with the boss there. And if you've watched my channel, you've probably heard the story a little bit, where I thought this person was my friend and I thought we could communicate with each other freely. And I'm not going to badmouth him either. I'm just going to say that we were having difficulties communicating, and I had to leave because of a little bit of underhanded behavior. I don't think this is badmouthing. I think this is just me telling the truth, where he demoted me and didn't tell me for whatever reason. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he thought it would be easier to find out. It's kind of like going to the prom and then finding out your date is there was somebody else. That's what it felt like, but maybe in his mind it was easier. I don't know. And he was a Scorpio moon too. So his moon was in my 8th house, and that probably was why the working relationship, the friendship was so difficult, was because Pluto dredges up old stuff. It dredges up issues. So when people have their moon in my 8th house, my moon is also in my 8th house, but a Sagittarius moon, that's neither here nor there. But when they have their moon in my 8th house, I know we're going to have some weird, like, intense, platonic, Plutonic, platonic type interactions. Interestingly, my Mars is opposite my Pluto. So my Mars is in Taurus. That touches everything in my life, which I'm pretty sure has some weird aspects to it. This is going to be a rambling vlog, but what are vlogs for? So anyway, we've talked about these first two cards. This is the death card. Did I ever finish my point about? Let's go back to the 10th house with Pluto, the transiting Pluto being in my 10th house. And when it's transiting, it's temporary energy, but Pluto stays in a house so long that it feels like it's a fucking long time. So when it was in my 10th house, the 10th house, which is the house of work, I had to change jobs. And I think the reason why I keep having such a hard time in life with having to have these hard transitions is because I'm a Taurus Mars. I will stay too long. I will try too hard. I will work too hard. And if I'm in the wrong place, I've worked too hard and tried too hard for the wrong cause. So, and I'm stubborn as fuck. Like, I I'll try every single last avenue to make this shit work, even though, like, in my heart of hearts, I know it's not working. Um, because I don't want to move. Like, I'm a rock sometimes, you know? I want to stay. And that's what I did with this relationship. I stayed too long. I stayed 10 years, and um, I stayed 7 years too long. And I was like, all right, well, if I change, if I do this, if I do that, if I move, if I shift, if I morph, if I continue to just basically become somebody who I wasn't, honestly, then I'll be able to make this work. And oh, me and this other person are just too different, I think. So that's why I outgrew the situation. It had to end. And this is going into the 11th house where my Venus is. Pluto is not touching my Venus yet, but it's I think I'm still feeling the energy on my Venus. And when that Venus retrograde was going on, that's when my relationship ended. So I just saw 1111. So this is what Pluto does for me personally, and I'm pretty sure it also does that for other people. Like, look in the world right now. Pluto has come into Saturn's domain, and Saturn is like politics. It's your dad. Saturn is structure. And Pluto came in, and Pluto is destruction. Pluto is tearing shit down. Pluto is destruction. I already said that, didn't I? It's destructive, but it's necessary chaos and destruction, you know? It has to happen. You gotta tear that old shit up before you can have something that is more, God, you scared me, kid. You have to tear that old stuff up before you can have a new foundation. This is my daughter, Zoe. You guys don't get to see my kids, do you? Can you close the door if you're gonna come in?
Sure.
Now your feet are stuck.
I guessed it.
Oh.
Ah.
So anyway. Once the stuff has been torn up, then you can move forward and rebuild. It's like this has to happen, and then this happens, and then you can come back around with a rebirth, which is another part of Pluto. I've, as a person that has the placements that I have with Pluto and how my Pluto aspects stuff in my chart, I have gone through a lot of transformations in my life. It just seems like a pattern for me where I'll be somewhere, I'll get comfortable. It might not be like the best place for me, but I'm the kind of person who can morph and do other things, right? So, or become other things, rather. I lost my train of thought.
How?
What was I saying?
You were talking about a pattern.
Oh yes. So my pattern is to, like, I guess, be where I'm not supposed to be, and then stay too long there, and then be forced to leave. So it's kind of like the job that I told you guys about, the relationship that I told you guys about. It just seems like that is my pattern where I want to stay somewhere. I want to be comfortable. I want to just be. But with my particular makeup in my chart and my mental makeup, and I'm a Capricorn, so I work hard, and I am stubborn there too. I just have stubbornness all around. Um, I have that pattern where I'm forced to move. Like Pluto will make me, it forces me to move. Especially during this transit where it's in my 10th and 11th houses, and those are my Capricorn houses, and those houses are loaded. Like I've got stelliums in both houses, and they're both in Capricorn. um, which is weird because I've got my Venus in Aquarius, but it's still in my 11th house. So it's an interesting thing. And I just came out of a Saturn return too, so yay! I'm gonna be 30 next year. I think I think it returns and then it goes direct and then it retrogrades back into the sign before it goes direct again, and you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it until you're like 60. Because it comes around every about 29 or 30 years. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Like, if you don't know about astrology, then my ramblings are just ramblings, right? But anyway, the whole point of this video was to kind of talk about Pluto and kind of just talk. Just talk in general. And you guys get to meet my daughter. I guess. Can you go play for a little while? Do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Not really.
Other than you asked me to tell you what you were talking about.
Ah, yes. Yes. Anyway.
And I did a recital day before today.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
There's bellow, tap, and jazz, and acro.
My child's a dancer.
But I want to go to the moon. What if I'm a dancer on the moon?
Maybe you'll be the first dancer on the moon. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe I'm the first person to live on the moon if I live on the moon.
Maybe. Can you go check on your sister, please?
I told her to get up if she wanted to see Orangey eating the orange kitten eating the macaroni. The macaroni's gone.
Alright.
She ate all the macaroni.
Alright, sorry.
Orangey is very funny when she's eating macaroni. That's orange like her. But also, Orangey's an orange kitten. Like oranges.
That's why we call her Orangey, I guess.
Yeah.
So...
She's an orange.
She's an orange?
Yes, she's orange.
Okay.
I'm going to call her Orangey the Orange. Or Kitten the Orange. Or Orangey the Kitten Orange. I have no idea what to call her. I know her name. Well, I guess Trey named her.
Did she? I thought you named her.
I did. But her actual name is different than Orangey, but she's orange. Is she an orange airplane? She as fast as an airplane.
Okay.
I tried to pet her. She was away like Sonic.
The hedgehog?
Yes.
Wow.
Or at least it seems like that.
I hear you. We might have to go shopping to get some stuff from BJ's. What do you think you want? Not listening, that's fine. Anyway. The whole point of this video
Bye,
was...
Mommy.
Bye. I'll see you in a minute.
See you.
The whole point of this video was basically just to talk to you guys. I wanted to connect it to Pluto because that's a highly, highly relevant energy for us all right now. Pluto has the ability to uncover, and it has the ability to expose and destroy and kill off. But in the end, after all of that's said and done, there's rebirth. I know we're all really experiencing some weird stuff right now. Like, this is the year that exposed the sexual abuse, right? It exposed the issues in the healthcare systems. It exposed the issues in pretty much every government system, program. And I believe that we'll be moving after we settle down. We'll be able to move all of us collectively into a time where things are being rebuilt. There's rebirth, and we'll be able to come back around again in a place where it's not. It's better. Like, I feel like the issues are being torn up right now, and once it all dies down, we'll be able to have a good. We'll be able to see things clearly, better, more clearly, better, maybe even have divine guidance, and these programs will be the government's programs and I guess you want to call it the Matrix. The Matrix program itself will be able to be rebuilt better and more stable. But to recap, Pluto is a planet of destruction, death, eventual rebirth. It is right now in Capricorn. Is it? Just check real quick. Just make sure. Yeah, it's still in Capricorn. It's retrograding too. So just like Mercury retrograde, like shit gets really weird. But in a different way. So with Mercury retrograde, it's communication. I just saw 2222. It's communication. It's things like your car breaking down, or your computer stops working, or your phone gets lost, or something like that. I tend to lose actual physical bills of money when Mercury is retrograding. Pluto retrograde is like a totally different ball game. I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm just gonna read a little bit. It's asking you to focus on your core goals and work really hard to achieve them. This means literally the period of changing friend circles and networking with people who bring you more opportunities to work towards your goals, which totally happened in my life. Pluto was probably retrograding when Venus was retrograding, and those two things just massively brought up issues in my personal relationship that they were already there. I'm not saying these planets are causing you to, or causing me personally to do the things that I'm doing, or that it's causing other people to do things to me. I'm just saying that it uncovers the issues. It doesn't cause them, so they're already there. And even without the retrogrades aggravating the issues, and with the relationship itself probably would have ended anyway. So I'm not blaming anything. I will say that I have my own set of issues. So I'm taking accountability for my own issues, my own bullshit. And that's just period, point blank, no excuses there. But never mind. That's it. That's it there, point blank, period. As I said, how to do that? There we go. So anyway, trying to stay focused here. I think I'm just gonna recap and then I'm gonna end this video because I'm getting distracted. So the video was called Let's Talk About Pluto. The point of the video was to kind of talk about the tarot cards that are associated with Pluto, talk about my own personal experience with the planet, and to give you guys the announcement that I'm moving around. I'm moving around because my relationship has ended and we're not going to be living in the same house. And also, that is why my videos have been coming out kind of slow, or you've been getting weird backgrounds, or I've been doing things from my car. That's why that's happening. So, the Death card is a Plutonic card, it's a card of Scorpio. It's all about transitions, not necessarily always death. It can be, but I've never predicted a death. It's always been, I've never predicted a physical death, like you dying. I've predicted like relationships dying or transitioning from one part to another, massive life changes that leave you changed forever, stuff like that. This is also a card of Scorpio. As you can see, it is the Tower card, and the Tower is coming down. It's always necessary destruction, and it's always necessary. It always has to happen. It's like when I keep getting this card, I know it's going to be painful, but in the end, it's going to be good. It's like I had to lose a tooth. I broke it on a piece of glass and some food, and then I asked my cards if the dentist was gonna have to take it out. I got this card, and as this, if you look at it, it can look like a tooth. The Tower can look like a tooth. My crown came off of my tooth, and the doctor had to pull it out of my mouth. It's a destruction of the tooth. The Tower card. Scorpios have a lot of different sides to them. I'm gonna try and not go past 30 minutes. They can be highly transformative in your life. They can be chaotic in your life, and they can help you rebirth, or just transition from being one thing to another, but less painfully. Or they can do all of these things to you. Did I recap everything? Let's talk about Pluto. I did the announcement. I talked about the cards. Talked about what Pluto is about. I might not post this video. I don't know. Maybe I will. You guys got to meet my kid. I think that's it. I'm sorry if this was scattered. A little bit of scattered brained right now. But anyway, I hope that you guys have a good day. If you need a personal reading, my information is down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ta-ta for now.